Let me ask you a question. In your experience or observation or your best practices in your organization, who do we typically promote into leadership roles? The answer that I hear most often is those people who are technically the most competent. Sales managers. They came from many times being the top salesman in the company. And it goes on in technically driven companies, in engineering driven companies. Many times the leaders were the most technically competent. That can be a trap. So what I want to talk about today is how do you develop leaders? I want you to look at competencies. Okay, first, competency is simply defined as an ability or skill. Determine for your company the competencies that you want to evaluate as you look at future leaders. Perhaps 5 to 10 of them. It depends on how you want to look at it. Let me review some typical leadership competencies: problem solving, delegating, coaching for effectiveness, self-awareness, strategic thinking, stress tolerance. Those are some competencies. Here are some facts about competencies. They're like muscles. Some are very well developed in people. They're strong, they're leveraged, they have energy around them, and others they don't hardly use. And so they're weakened and exhausted, just like a muscle that's not used. So find ways to develop the competencies in leaders and in your future leaders. And then look at behaviors. Behaviors are grouped underneath those competencies. Behaviors like communications, listening, concentration, self-responsibility, planning and organizing, negotiating, decisiveness. And if you look at behaviors and competencies, you will develop a very good strategic plan on who your leader should be, what your future leader should look like, and then maybe create some learning and development programs based around those competencies and behaviors. If you want to learn more about this topic, look at the link below. This is Len Petrin-Costa from the Leadership Quest, and that's your Leadership Tip of the Month.